You're watching 13 Wham ABC. And this is 13 Wham News Midday.
New this midday, for the first time in nearly 2 decades, a local jury left the courtroom to go to the scene of the crime. Why prosecutors say the rare move is so important. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Hannah Welker in for Norma Holland. Just moments ago, jurors in the murder trial of 19-year-old Charlie Tan, the man accused of killing his father, visited the scene of that crime. 13 Wham's Jane Flash joins us live now from Coach Side Lane in Pittsford, where the jury just toured the Tan family home.
Yeah, the jury was only here about 15 minutes in total. The 15 of them boarded a white sheriff's transport bus from the Hall of Justice. They arrived at 37 Coach Side Lane. That is the Tan house there, the house belonging to the Charlie Tan family. Jim Tan was shot at least 3 times at close range while he sat at a desk in his office upstairs. The jurors were taken inside 4 at a time. They were then escorted 2 at a time to that upstairs bedroom. It is no longer an office. Jurors have been told it will not look as it looked in the crime scene photos and video that they were shown as part of this trial. They were allowed to peer through the doorway but not go inside. Now, Charlie Tan was not present. He waived his right to be present. Attorneys from both the defense and prosecution were here, along with the judge. They did not speak, nor were the jurors allowed to ask any questions. Your observations are the evidence, the judge told them before they left the courtroom this morning. Now, neighbors have hung purple ribbons for domestic violence awareness on their mailboxes. The judge did not reference those ribbons specifically this morning in court, but he did caution jurors that what they saw on the ride to and from the house is not evidence, only their observations once they got here. Also, we should mention that security has been pretty tight here. Sheriff's deputies were here marking off a perimeter. We were not allowed to get this close earlier today while the jury was here. We were kept 300 feet back. So was everybody else. So no one could get in and possibly taint the jury. Hannah?
Thanks so much, Jane. The former prison tailor who helped 2 inmates escape a maximum security prison in New York State has been sentenced up to 7 years behind bars. Joyce Mitchell pleaded guilty in July to promoting prison contraband and facilitating criminal activity. Under the terms of her plea deal, she'll spend 2 1/3 to 7 years in prison. Mitchell admitted to smuggling in tools that Richard Matt and David Sweat used to break out of prison in June. The escape set off a 3-week manhunt. Matt was killed and Sweat was captured. More than 1 million people packed Philadelphia this weekend to catch a glimpse of the Pope as he wrapped up his visit to the U.S. Among those was Deacon Mike Zuber of Rochester, who had just come out of the cathedral to talk with Jennifer Johnson when streets began shutting down. The Pope made an unexpected stop in front of the cathedral, getting right up close to Zuber and dozens more from our area. The Pope made a second pass on his way to Mass. Many say seeing the Pope and hearing his message was inspiring.
We were just standing there, and the next thing we know, he's coming through, and I mean, everyone was, there were kids behind us chanting, "We love you, Pope Francis, we love you," and it was just, oh.
The Holy Spirit was really at work in this Mass. It was very overpowering. You could feel, you could feel something different.
And now Pope Francis is back at the Vatican after finishing his first trip to the States. The beloved pontiff reflecting on the 3-city journey. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in New York with more.
With a smile and a wave, Pope Francis said farewell to America after a whirlwind week in D.C., New York, and Philadelphia. And on the papal plane, the pontiff reflected on his U.S. visit, telling reporters what surprised him the most was the warmth of the people, adding Washington was warm but formal. As for New York?
New York, un po' stralimitata.
He said it was exuberant, and Philadelphia was, in the Pope's words, very demonstrative. The city of brotherly love had transformed into an outdoor cathedral for the Pope's final Mass, marking the end of an unforgettable and surreal week for so many, including all the babies he kissed, those he visited at this D.C. soup kitchen, the students at this Harlem school, and the inmates at this prison in Northeast Philadelphia.
It was awesome. You know, I've never been to a papal Mass.
It's his first time, and he's a man who just exudes love for everybody.
I was like one of the best, coolest experience ever. I wasn't even gonna come. She made me. I'm really happy she did. Like, I got to put Princess Doll.
When asked how he felt about becoming a star,
Servo dei servi di Dio.
he humbly answered, popes are servants of God, a bit different from a star.
That was ABC's Elizabeth Her reporting. After landing safely in Italy, we're told before heading to the Vatican, he first made a stop at a church in Rome to pray to the Virgin Mary to thank her for a successful trip to the U.S. and Cuba.
As expected here in western New York, the sidewalk caught a quick rinse here this morning, but for the most part now, most areas are dry. The one exception to that would be east of Rochester. That's into Wayne County. Catching some of the showers now, some of the light sprinkles that are left over, maybe passing by Sodus there. Another quick shower going through Allegheny County down to the south of Rochester, but for all intents and purposes, for the next few hours, we should find mainly dry weather. Now, the Futurecast does hold on to the chance for at least another shower or two through the evening, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Kind of what you saw this morning is what you can expect for the afternoon and evening. We're going to be in the low 70s. It's going to have that damp feel to it. Coming up, we're going to tell you when we get a real cool down in western New York. It's going to feel like fall, and the heat may be clicking on shortly.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mark. Today is another chance for those in the community to remember a first responder who died doing what he loved. Many came out to mourn Barry Miller yesterday at the Virgin United Methodist Church. Miller was killed when the ambulance he was riding in crashed into a street sweeper. He was a longtime firefighter and Genesee County coroner. Miller's funeral is scheduled for tomorrow morning. A memorial was held over the weekend for a murdered Rochester teen. 17-year-old George Herring was stabbed in the upper body on K Terrace back in July. On Saturday, he passed away from his injuries. That night, family and friends held a vigil in his honor.
George was a sweet person, loving person, never harmed nobody.
He used to take me to the store to make sure I didn't get hurt. He used to do everything so I didn't get hurt. And he was a good brother.
Last month, Rochester police released these pictures of a person of interest in the attack. Anyone with information should call Crime Stoppers at 423-9300. The Rochester Amherst opened training camp today in preparation for its upcoming season. New coach Randy Cooneyworth makes his return to the team. He was rehired this offseason after coaching the team from the 1999 to 2008 season. The Amherst opened the preseason on Thursday against the Binghamton Senators at the Gene Policini Center at RIT. The regular season begins next week. The Buffalo Bills bounced back in a big way yesterday in Miami. The Bills blew out the Dolphins 41-14, improving 2-1 this season. Tyrod Taylor was nearly perfect, throwing for 3 touchdowns without an interception. The Bills' defense was dominant as well, recording 2 sacks, 3 interceptions. The win was much needed after last week's embarrassing loss against the Patriots. Next up for the Bills, a date with the New York Giants at the Ralph on Sunday afternoon. Still ahead from midday, President Obama is set to meet with Russian President Putin today for a first time in 2 years. Hear what bold plans will be revealed. And later, it was a gloomy morning. Will the sunshine make an appearance? Meteorologist Mark McLean will be back with a look at our Weather Authority forecast.
Mesothelioma is a cancer that is caused by exposure to asbestos. Many hardworking tradesmen have been exposed to harmful asbestos fibers. Even second-hand exposure to asbestos may put family members at risk. So if you or a loved one has mesothelioma, you may be entitled to a tax-free settlement. Call us now.
Savino and Barnes, injury attorneys, call 888-8888.
Don't wait. Call 8. The Fab Life, weekdays at 10 on 13 Wham ABC.
Hurt in a car? Here's what clients are saying about William Matar.
Everyone was responsive to my needs. Very satisfied.
A 5 out of 5.
Awesome.
Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 444-4444.
My great-grandfather was a funeral director, as well as my grandfather, my father, both uncles, and 3 cousins. We were all taught that only one thing really matters: providing a perfect, beautiful funeral service at a price the family can afford. That's why at Newcomer, our price is always hundreds, even thousands of dollars less than other area funeral homes. Funerals and cremations can be expensive, but not at Newcomer.
Stay on that one.
Sometimes it's hard to catch all your favorite shows.
You're killing me, Dad. Give me that, please.
With Time Warner Cable's enhanced DVR, you can record up to 6 shows at the same time. Plus, you can record in one room and watch in another, so you can enjoy TV on your schedule.
Welcome to the future. Yes, welcome.
Get over 200 HD channels, internet, and unlimited calling for $89.99 a month. Time Warner Cable.
It really feels great that we've been able to help people for 25 years, and we always are working to change for the better and to improve ourselves. I look to the future, and I believe that we'll be able to help more people and do even a better job than we are doing today.
President Obama addresses the United Nations just hours before sitting down with Russian President Vladimir Putin. It will be the first time the two leaders have talked together in years. The issue at hand, Syria. ABC's Carla Bargia-Reina is at the UN in New York.
70 years after the founding of the United Nations, it is worth reflecting on what together the members of this body have helped to achieve.
President Obama taking the world stage this morning, telling UN members they must work together. Mr. Obama saying the world cannot go back to the, quote, old order, where might makes right and countries can turn their backs on the rest of the world.
That our nations are more secure when we uphold basic laws and basic norms and pursue a path of cooperation over conflict.
The president also addressing conflict and war, saying the work of the UN is still incomplete.
Today we see the collapse of strong men and fragile states breeding conflict and driving innocent men, women, and children across borders on an epic scale.
After his speech, Mr. Obama is scheduled to have a face-to-face meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, the first in over a year. On the agenda, Russia's buildup of troops in Ukraine and its support of Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Samantha Power admitting the current U.S. strategy of arming and training Syrian rebels is in jeopardy.
Totally fair. It's obviously even more complex, I think, than we would have envisaged.
This is the first time President Putin appears before the UN General Assembly in over a decade. His speech is scheduled to take place later today. Carla Bargia-Reina, ABC News, New York.
New information in the death of a paratrooper from Medina. According to a military report, Sergeant Shayna Schmiegel died during training at Fort Bragg last year of a broken neck. The military says the jump master failed to inspect her parachute, which didn't open properly. That jump master was permanently removed from those duties after Schmiegel's death. Meteorologist Martin McLean joins us now with a look at the weather. Was a little bit of a wet morning, but what can people expect now?
Yeah, it looks like we're getting through some of those morning showers, so a little bit more hope here for the afternoon in western New York. Lots of clouds out there today, but not getting a lot of rain out this afternoon. 64 degrees with the cloud cover. Didn't drop down like it normally does into the upper 40s for this time of the year, so 17 degrees surplus there to start the day, and that leaves us at 68 degrees, already better than the normal high at this point. We'll show you when we may catch another shower or two and what that temperature does by midweek. Next.
Direct from Broadway comes Newsies, Disney's Tony Award-winning smash hit musical.
Newsies, October 6th through 11th at RBTL's Auditorium Theater. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and the Auditorium box office.
Nissan Altima. With up to 270 horsepower, blind spot warning, and premium interior. For a limited time, choose Altima with 0% APR for up to 72 months or get a $179 per month lease. Altima, the ride you can always rely on. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com. Innovation that excites.
If your hearing has been keeping you or your loved ones from experiencing the joys of everyday life, Rochester Hearing and Speech Center can help. Here's our fall specials. Now you can try before you buy. Wear your new hearing aids, and if you don't love them, we'll refund the purchase price. Plus, save an incredible $500 off selected hearing aids. But hurry, this is a limited time offer. Don't put it off. Call Rochester Hearing and Speech Center today.
What's the easiest way to get rid of your old inefficient fridge? Well, there is a solution just as easy. Simply call or click to schedule your pickup. Plus, you'll get $50. To schedule a free pickup of your old fridge or freezer, call or visit rge.com.
13 Wham News, brought to you by Wonder Windows.
Well, 13 Wham TV photographer Nathan Miller captured this for us last night. This was a time lapse of the supermoon lunar eclipse here in western New York that started just after 9 o'clock and ended just after midnight last night, capturing those reddish colors. Look at that color from last night, the totality from about 10:11 to 11:23 last night. So hopefully you had a chance to catch that rare supermoon lunar eclipse that we had over the area. Now we're seeing of course, the clouds building back in. But pollen count, wanted to keep you up to speed on this too. This is Dr. Donald Pulver, gives us the count for weed pollen, grass pollen, tree pollen for this time of the year, and says it's still the ragweed count that's a little bit moderate at this point. So if you suffer from symptoms, probably going to be that count. HD Wham Cam, a couple of numbers here that are a little bit out of character. That's the temperature. It's at 68. That's better than our normal high temperature for this time of the year, which is 67. And the dew point temperature is at 63. That's more typical of the middle of summer, say July or August. So there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere this afternoon. Low 60s for Joanne and Penfield. Had a little bit of rain out in Ontario, Newark. It was less than 5/100ths of an inch. Again, just enough to wet down the sidewalk today, but not really enough to kind of clean out the atmosphere. 71 in Dansville, 72 in Syracuse. And I think these numbers back to the southwest are indicative of where we're headed here today, back to the 70s, and maybe one more day in the 70s tomorrow before these temperatures really start to take a tumble as we head through the middle of the week. Ultimate Doppler radar, there's low pressure down to the south of Rochester. It's sending up a little bit of moisture into western New York, giving us some of that cloud cover, but the live scan's not picking up too much at this point. Those showers that were out in Wayne County have kind of lifted to the northeast now. I think we'll see a spritz here and there, but it's just not going to be a big deal for the course of the afternoon. If you want to stay dry, just make sure you have an umbrella with you today. Here comes the big ticket item in weather, and it's going to be this cold front back to the north of Rochester. It's going to squeeze out all this moisture in the atmosphere as this low lifts up. That front's going to kind of meet it in the middle here. Now, central New York, eastern New York, they're going to get a real washout out of this, maybe more than 2 inches of rain. Back here in western New York, as that front kind of moves to the southeast here, we expect a soaker as we head through Tuesday, and we expect in excess of an inch of rain as well for some parts. I'll show you that. But low 70s today. I think the heaviest rain is going to stay south and east of Rochester. Temperature by 10 o'clock tonight still in the 60s. The futurecast rain amounts, this is going to take us right through Tuesday. Check out the areas off to the east of Rochester, and you can see some of these amounts. Again, in excess of an inch of rain. Look at Oswego, 2.5 inches of rain, maybe an inch closer to Rochester. What happens to the temperature after that front goes through? Splashes back into the low 60s by Wednesday. Maybe staying in the 50s for Thursday, but brief spotty shower for the afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, upper 60s. The forecast for this evening is going to drop back to 71 degrees with mainly dry weather, and then later tonight only drops back into the low 60s. Leave the window open, partial clearing later tonight. Here's our extended forecast. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday all look mainly dry at this point. Low 60s. It's going to feel like fall. And then still some conflict in the end of the weekend forecast. Upper 50s for Sunday. May catch a shower there towards the end of the weekend. We'll see.
You know, it's starting to look like October.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Trees are changing.
Yeah, I love fall, though.
It's nice.
We'll get a check on some stocks and business news when we come back.
Calling Dr. Phil. Is her Nigerian husband deceiving her?
I see Mom being James's cash cow.
James, did you refer to Deanna as an ATM?
I can't call my wife an ATM.
Dr. Phil, today at 4 on 13 Wham ABC.
Go to the community tab on 13wham.com to learn more about this and other events.
Hi. Hi. Do your dentures come with a guarantee? Oh, no, dentures don't. But this thing did.
I'll be right with you.
Okay, let's try something new.
Hi. Do your dentures come with a money-back guarantee? Absolutely. Did you hear that? They already know.
At Aspen Dental, we get you dentures in days. And if you're not completely satisfied, we'll refund your money. Now that's doing dentistry differently. Just call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
Don't miss the spectacular September savings going on now at Toyota Scion of Batavia. Drive away a sporty new 2015 RAV4 for just $199 for 36 months. Or finance for as low as 0% for 48 months. Plus, all new cars come with a no-cost 2-year maintenance plan with 24-hour roadside assistance. Right now, get a free tablet computer with any new or pre-owned vehicle purchase.
Drive a little, save a lot.
Her favorite outing? Staying in with you at our plush new cinema. Our new cafe serves what you want, when you want it. Create new moments with family and friends. Social call, appointment, a fleet of vehicles is ready when you are. For senior living like you never imagined. Plan a tour of the Village at Unity. Call us today or visit thevillageatunity.org.
Rochester Colonial. He's a proud sponsor of the 13 Wham Weather Line. Call 334-0013 to get the latest forecast anytime from the 13 Wham Weather Authority.
Here's another OAR success story.
Since my knee replacement, I've been very motivated. My exercises are better than ever, and it's all thanks to OAR.
You have a choice. Visit rochesterortho.com or call us today.
Sell your gold to Bitcoin. Now you're thinking smart.
Are you buying or selling gold, silver, coins, diamonds, jewelry? Take out the middleman. Head to Rich Coin's new location at 945 Jefferson Road, Henrietta, or East Ridge and Culver in Irondequoit.
People with powers are growing in number.
We call ourselves Inhumans.
And one team will fight to protect them at any cost. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. premieres tomorrow on ABC.
Good Day Rochester. Weekdays on 13 Wham ABC and Fox Rochester.
For Volkswagen in the wake of that emissions scandal, the automaker was apparently warned at least twice not to use the software that enabled cheating on diesel emissions tests. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal reports that fallout from this scandal is causing higher financing costs. VW will reportedly have a harder time offering loans to boost sales. It was a good weekend for Apple's new iPhones. The company says it sold 13 million iPhone 6s and 6s Plus devices in just 3 days. That's a record for Apple. In a statement, Apple CEO Tim Cook says early customer feedback on the new iPhones has been positive. Some of its features, a stronger aluminum body and higher resolution cameras. All right, let's take a look at stocks this midday. Looking at the Dow, it's down about 237, NASDAQ down 104, and the S&P 500 down about 37. Locally, the stocks constellation down about 2, Kodak up almost 0.1, and Paychex down about a half point. It's time to take a look at a few events happening in our area.
And the Maplewood Community Library is going to be offering a class on preparing for the U.S. citizenship exam. The class is free and is offered weekly. For more information, call 428-8220.
Penfield Public Library is hosting a discussion on making the most of your college visits. Registration is required. Go to penfieldlibrary.org for details.
And send your community events to the address on the screen. It's 13 Wham TV. Attention community calendar, 4225 West Henrietta Road, Rochester, New York, 14623.
Yeah, we'll be right back with your winning midday lottery numbers.
At Raymore and Flanagan, 62 years means a commitment to serving our customers. Celebrating over 6 decades of quality furniture and mattresses, we're putting every single item in the store on sale now. We've got a long history of delivering the best brands at the best prices. Celebrate the anniversary of our home by furnishing yours with 60 months, no interest. The anniversary sale ends Monday, 9 p.m. at Raymore and Flanagan.
Cleaning between the teeth is very important. People think I can just brush my teeth and be fine, but even without having cavities, you can still have gum disease.
Use Gum Brand for healthy gums, soft picks, Proxibrush cleaners, flossers, and dental floss. Gum Brand is simple, easy to use.
Your gums matter.
Welcome back. Big news from Beverly Hills. Celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Andrew Orden has discovered an anti-aging breakthrough called Fill and Freeze. And he's giving away 1 million bottles free.
I've spent nearly 30 years looking for an effective, instant breakthrough to reduce the appearance of wrinkles that can be applied topically instead of with surgery or invasive medical techniques. And I finally found it with Derm Exclusives Fill-In Freeze.
Wow, I'm young again. I don't feel like an old lady. The lines are gone.
Oh my God. Wow. I can't believe it. It looks really good. It gives you a whole new confidence.
It definitely took 10 years off. If I went to a dermatologist here in the city, I would pay $300-400 for this.
I know you're wondering what Derm Exclusive can do for you. Well, you don't have to wonder. You can order it right now and try it for yourself absolutely risk-free. And here's how.
Call now during this special direct-to-consumer offer and you won't pay $120. Today, you can get your own instant results with Fill-In Freeze for only $59. But that's not all. Today, we're taking another $20 off, so now you can get this instant wrinkle-removing miracle for the low price of only $39.95. And as part of our 1 million bottle giveaway, Dr. Orden is including a second $60 bottle of Fill-In Freeze free. That's nearly $120 of Fill-In Freeze for only $39.95. Dr. Orden will even include his micro-peel resurfacing pads, intensive repair serum, and collagen lift moisturizer, a $200 value free. Order now and we'll even upgrade your order to express delivery. That's a $15 value free. Plus, you even get to try it risk-free for 30 days with our money-back guarantee. But you must call to order. Call 1-800-755-2761. That's 1-800-755-2761. Order now.
Tired of hearing the bad news? Hear the good news. Call Southside Hearing Center, making headlines in hearing care since 2001.
Search 13 Wham to download the new 13 Wham News app.
Go to the community tab on 13wham.com to learn more about this and other events.
It's New York Lottery's Numbers That Win for Midday drawing for Monday, September 28, 2015, being observed by KPMG. I'm John Schnur. Now here's today's number. The first ball up is 1 the next, is 4 in the last, is 2, making the midday number 142. Wednesday's Lotto jackpot is $40 million. And now win 4, the first ball up, is 2 the next, is 6 the next, is 1 in the last, is 5, making the midday win for number 2615. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful day.
Can't rule out the rain today, but it's not going to spoil our day. Upper 60s to near 70 at 3 o'clock. Lots of cloud cover. I think by 7, 8 o'clock tonight, maybe a crack or two in that overcast. Still in the mid-60s at 10 o'clock tonight. Mild night tonight, only low 60s, and we're going to find a steadier rain returning for Tuesday.
Comfortable, very comfortable. Well, that's our report. Thanks for watching this midday. More news at 5 and 6. Have a great day.